Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from tarotforhealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is your monthly reading. This is for the cancers. And what I'm going to be doing is slightly different to usual. I'm not using the playing cards, so I'm going to be using just one deck, which is the Anna Kay deck. But like I usually do, I'll start off with a more general reading and then I'll get into the more like specific areas of your life. Um, the cards that showed up in your general reading are the Knight of Swords and the Star, with the King of Pentacles reversed and the Nine of Rods reversed. Usually I don't really read reversals like that. Like I do sometimes only if I feel guided to, and I felt like for some reason these cards wanted to be reversed, so because that's how they just showed up when I laid them. So I've just kept them that way. What this is kind of telling me is with the King of Swords, with the Star, it's kind of making me think that there's really something that you're looking to go for. There's something that you're planning for. You're making the preparation for it, but it's almost like you're trying to work out how everything is going to come together, how you're going to manage the situation, how you're going to bring it about. The Star is saying it's something that you've always wanted to do, or you dream of doing. Like it could be, planning for like a dream vacation, planning for a family. Like maybe you've always dreamed of having a family. Whatever it is that you've really wanted is what you're kind of preparing for. But with the King of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Rods reversed, it's kind of telling me that maybe the finances may not be there for the plans that you're trying to make. So maybe this is the time where you're just sort of trying to work out how much everything is going to be and trying to kind of think trying to manage your like how the finances are going to come together for this endeavor. But whatever it is, I feel like it's not a bad thing that the finances may not be there. It just might be the time for you to kind of plan and prepare and kind of see, maybe if you can't make it literally happen now, maybe it can be a future plan, like maybe when finances are better, or maybe you can save up for it, or like that kind of thing. But then with the Nine of Rods, is kind of saying like, how determined are you in order to get this thing that you really want as well? Um, because I'm kind of feeling like when this card, usually when it's upright, it can represent somebody that is really protective over something that they want or something that they've been working on. But to me, when it's reversed, it could almost be showing like maybe you maybe the because the money isn't there, you might become a bit down, like disheartened about the situation, or you may decide, I don't know if I'm as enthusiastic about doing this right now as I once was. Like maybe the whole dream aspect of everything is almost feeling like it's difficult to actually make it happen. And so it might be something that you've been working on and toiling on for quite some time. And you might reach the point where you're like, should I even just keep on planning for this? Should this really be something that I even decide to do, just because it's proven itself to be challenging? Or maybe the circumstances right now just this doesn't seem to be fitting for this to happen. So but yeah, I guess it depends on you. It depends on, to be honest, I'm the kind of person, I do believe in going for your dreams. Like that's just me. Like I think that if there's something that you really want to do, there's something that you're inspired to do, I always feel like you should just go for it, just to say that okay, I did it and I've accomplished this. But again, it just depends on, how much it means to you, and again, how determined you are to keep going and to actually see this all the way through. Because, obviously the Nine of Rods is a nine card. It can represent a card where, something is completed. But then at the same time, I guess the fact that it's showing up reverse, it could be saying, do you have what it takes to actually finalize this, to actually make this actually happen? So yeah, I guess that's kind of just the question you have to ask yourself. And again, like I said, how determined you are to see it all the way through. Okay. I have to stretch because I sort of moved around my computer after I laid the cards down. So um for your money situation, you have the Six of Swords and the Three of Cups. The Six of Swords, to me, it always reflects when you've kind of been going through a tough time. Like maybe you've needed help or you've needed assistance, or maybe like money has been quite tight, which I'm kind of seeing with that King of Pentacles, like reverse. But then it's sort of saying with the Three of Cups that again, it's like the support can be there, and but what the Six of Swords also represents is, to me, it represents when you've gone through a challenging period, but then it's like you're slowly but surely creeping out of it. So it's like gradually things are becoming better. It's not a card to me that shows like, oh my gosh, things are just amazingly better, but it's like one of them cards that says that, you know what, things are moving at least in the right direction, even though it takes time. But at least it's progressing. But the Three of Cups is saying that even with this progression, you're happy about it, because at least, you know, you're not where you were before. You're not stuck in a financial bind. At least maybe in October there is a little bit of more money coming in that at least that at least makes your circumstances a bit better. The Three of Cups to me can also represent it to me, it can be a celebratory card, but then at the same time I feel like it's a card that shows that you have a support system around you, and you have the opportunity of things being made available to you. I don't know why, but just in the back of my mind, looking at the Three of Cups is really connecting me like to the Star card. Like the Star card and this one is like, I don't know why, but they're just both like coming up in my mind. So it's kind of making me think that the messages somehow are connecting together. And to me, like the star is sort of representing dreams, hopes, wishes, desires. And the Three of Cups could be saying that again, maybe these dreams, hopes, or wishes and desires could be coming through a third party or your support system, people that are around you. So it's kind of saying that if you've needed any kind of help, if that's been what has been, it's like you have people that aren't judging your circumstance. You have people that are just there and willing and prepared to just give you that assistance. And I think that's because, you know, you're a Cancer, and Cancers, you know, you usually give a lot to others anyways, so that if you're in a bind, you know, I'm sure there's somebody that will be willing to give to you and support you the same way you have supported them in the past. So this might be the time where, you know, you might have to be the one to depend a little bit on somebody else. But I feel like those people, again, they're going to be really open and they're not going to turn you away. They're going to be really accepting, and it's almost like they'll be the ones to tell you that, you know, everything is going to be okay. And so your progress might actually come through other people in October, like any kind of financial progress or even work situations. So, or even for some of you guys, maybe the you know, the three people in the Three of Cups could represent like co-workers as well, maybe even co-workers supporting you. So it can be friends, it can be co-workers, people that you have some kind of working relationship with, or maybe even an emotional connection with. For those of you that are in relationships, you have the Queen of Pentacles with the Ten of Rods. To me, it's kind of saying a relationship may have reached a point where it is a stable one, but then it could be saying that maybe you feel very burdened, like you have a lot on your plate. You might be dealing with a lot of tasks, being very busy. You might even find somebody that you're in a relationship with is just putting more pressure on you. Maybe they require more of you. They need you to help or assist them more than maybe you normally would. So maybe you're having to take over like responsibilities, not only in the work, but also at home. And that might be putting more pressure on you. Or you might just be finding that you're with somebody that just isn't pulling their weight like they should be, and somebody that might be maybe more maybe wrapped up in their own self and their own world, and like just like this scenario here, like she's completely oblivious to the fact that all of these sticks are landing on him. So you might have a partner that, you know, is completely oblivious that they're making you have all these responsibilities and you're having to handle everything, and they might not be handling anything at all. And again, like this person doesn't look like he's in a position to even speak up for himself and to even say, you know, this is too much for me. So I think that if that's how you're feeling, like you should really communicate that. You should let that person know, because again, they might not even be doing it with bad intention. It could just be a case of maybe they just, like, I'm almost seeing a scenario where maybe the person you're with could even be a bit spoiled, could be the type that, they've either never had to do certain things or never had to be responsible for certain things. Maybe they've had everything they've wanted just given to them, or maybe you have done that to them. Like, maybe from the start was giving them so much and doing so much for them that now they've become accustomed to it, but now it's becoming too much for you and you're dealing with that burden, and they're just sort of happy in their own situation because everything is being done for them, and why shouldn't they be happy, if that's the case? So I would definitely say speak up for yourself if that's the case. I'm also even seeing for somebody, it could be a situation where either like, if you're a guy, it could be a scenario where your wife is pregnant and she finds it hard to do certain things, and so you're having to take over certain things, and the burden could be coming through that way as well for you. But I feel like that's like a more specific like scenario. But that's just something that came to mind just now. But yeah, I would say definitely speak up for yourself if things are just getting too rough for you, Cancer. Um, for those of you that are not in relationships, you have the Wild with the Queen of Rods. To me, it's like this is a really great time for you to explore, for you to have fun, for you to go out places, be social, but then it's also a really good time for you to maybe travel and just gain new experiences and to open up yourself to new prospects. Um, with that being said, that's so weird. For some reason, I looked at these cards and the first thing that came to my mind was Sagittarius. So I don't know if a person that is a Sagittarius is like a friend of yours or some like fire sign, but Sagittarius was the one that came up. But a fire sign obviously can be a Leo or an Aries as well. There could be somebody that maybe is going to be going places with you, like a friend that is a fire sign that might be wanting to do things with you, like you can have a good time with them. But then this could also be an energy that you're embodying as well. Like maybe you just want to open up yourself to having more fun, to being more social, to just putting yourself out there. So I don't think if you are single, you're really going to be caring so much about settling down or anything like that. I see these more, if you was looking to date, it'll almost be like that's all you'll be wanting to do, like just date, like maybe meet people maybe over the internet, or I don't know, speed dating. But I see something where it's like you're going out into the world, or you're going into some kind of sphere that maybe you either haven't been before, but that sphere is like opening you up to a number of different people. So that's why I was saying maybe this is like internet dating or speed dating or something like that. Um, if that's what you want to do, and I think that actually that could be a really fun experience for you. But as well as that, if you're just not interested in dating at all, which these cards could also represent, it could just be a case of you doing things that make you feel good about yourself, or that give you a sense of wonder and excitement and newness. So this could be you traveling to a different environment, or working maybe in a different environment, or just being somewhere you've never been before. That's kind of what I feel with these cards coming through. And yeah, and so but I feel like they have a really positive energy about it. So I don't feel like there's any love loss or there's any sadness about being single or anything like that, which is you know entirely acceptable. It's really good to be satisfied, and even if you have somebody or not, just being happy in your life or having things that really uh fulfill you other than a relationship. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with the singles. um for your spiritual cards, you have the High Priest with the Four of Pentacles. This one I didn't look at much, to be honest, after I laid it down, so I'm going to take a bit of time to kind of look at them and see what kind of comes through. The High Priest, to me, in connection with like spirituality, is it could be saying that this is the time for you to really sit and work on your own spiritual practice, gaining your own spiritual practice. So you can find that maybe you're going to be really into maybe doing rituals, maybe maybe developing more of a practice in maybe getting more into spiritual texts or spiritual understandings, or maybe even just learning from a really influential teacher, somebody that has something really wise to inform you of. But I kind of just see you learning and gaining just more spiritual insights in general. The Four of Pentacles could be saying, like, the same way he's like hoarding the gold, it could be saying that you are wanting, you find somebody or find some kind of source of spiritual information that you're kind of hoarding, like you're wanting to take in all the information and you want to apply it to your own life, or you want to apply it to your own circumstances. So I kind of see it that way, like you just learning and just taking in, absorbing everything. um I also feel like these cards, and like when I look at them, something that also came up for me is like it's also a time of really looking at your own morals and values as well. So this might be a time where you're really going to be thinking about what it is that you believe, or how do your beliefs like affect you, the way you live your life. So it could be a good time to look at that, or maybe look at things that you could even improve about yourself. um if I was to look at these cards in a really basic way, something that I'm also seeing here is, like, if I just look at the images with the High Priest first and then this Four of Pentacles, it's almost like this Four of Pentacles looks like he's almost planning on taking something from the High Priest, like being sneaky and trying to do something that he doesn't know about, almost because his eyes are closed. But then even, but the high priest is smarter than that. It's almost like he can sense that that person is there and he knows exactly what this person is doing. So even though they may be trying to be a bit underhanded and trying to do something, it's like he already knows within himself everything in my world is completely okay. And it's like he can intuitively feel that something is approaching, someone is coming, but he's not phased by it, because it's almost like he knows, like he's even more mature than that person or more mature than that whole scenario, so he can't really engage in all that. So I feel like maybe you might be in a position like that dealing with somebody else, like you're going to be that mature person and you kind of can feel when somebody isn't quite right. Plus you're very intuitive anyway because you're a Cancer. So it's almost like if you have people around you, or someone in particular around you, that is trying to be that way with you, I think that you're going to catch them before they catch you in that situation. But I feel like you're going to handle it with a lot of maturity. So yeah, that's the message that I see coming through for you, Cancers. Peace and many blessings to you. I'll see you. Bye.